I don't know of any other way to hold this spring down so I can get the leverage to turn this compressor. So I've got one end of the spring stuck into my jack stand here where it can't rotate when I use my compressor. Oh, this is scary as hell. After sufficiently compressing the spring and then putting a couple of blocks of wood on my big jack, I'm able to raise it up to get a connection with my ball joint. There we are. And starting to come off my jack again here, but I've got some thread showing, so that ought to be enough. Alright, at this point the castle nuts are on the ball joints, holding the spindle in with the cotter pin through the castle nut. So I'm now going to release the jack, and hopefully everything will hold together. And now there's the upper control arm and the lower control arm are connected by the spindle, keeping them together, and the spring trying to push them apart. Oh God. Alright. Now to release the tension in the spring. This isn't scary at all. Yeah, you get the idea. I have a bit of a problem. My spring compressor is being held against the lower control arm by the tension of the spring. The bottom part of the spring compressor is being made into an integral part of my car. I don't think I can drive around with a spring compressor as part of it, so I've got to figure out a way of getting this out. Had to go out and buy a bigger persuader. See if I can get in here and leverage this spring up a little bit. Alright, the persuader did the job. I managed to get the claw back out. For future reference, do not put the claw any lower than about the fourth coil. Because if you put it lower than that, it's going to get hung up against the control arm itself, and you're going to have to pry it out. So go up 1, 2, 3, 4 to start your compressing. Now it's time to pack my bearing with grease. My bearing's grease. The bearing sits inside the rotor. This is the cup, and this is the bearing. They're sold together as a set, and this is what your rotor turns on. And you got to fill this bearing with grease. They call that packing. Here I have some $2.99 high temperature synthetic grease, suitable for disc brakes. Looks like Vaseline. You take a gob of it. Into your hand. And you press down like so. Taking little bites of it. And filling the spaces in between the rolling elements, in between the rollers, filling them up with grease. And when you've done it right, it should be coming out the top. Let's see if I can make that happen. Wow. The good thing about this is you can never have too much grease. So you cannot overdo this. And I'm a firm believer in there being no such thing as overkill. But there is such a thing as having your hands too greasy to touch your camera because you don't want to get it nasty. Great. Alright world, check this out. Now I can put a wheel on it and do everything I did on this side, do it to the other side, and I can load it onto a flatbed and get it out of Mom's carport.